Hi guys, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Maddie, and today I am going to be showing you how to make a soft frosted sugar cookie. These cookies are really delicious. It's going to be a little bit different than a cutout cookie. I normally stick to cutout sugar cookies. However, I had a craving, and so I made soft sugar cookies. Sometimes you just need a little something sweet and fluffy and pillowy and light, and this is going to tick all those boxes for you. I think it is a great cookie for springtime, Easter time. So let's make these cookies. The first thing we're going to do is cream together our butter and sugar. I'm using 2 sticks or 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature. And to that, in my stand mixer, I'm adding 1 cup of sugar. We're just going to cream that together till it's light and fluffy, which should take you about 1 to 2 minutes. And after that's come together, we're going to add 2 eggs. And then we're going to add in our extracts. So I'm using 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, which is going to be the main flavor for these cookies. And then just to give us a nice little extra flavor in there, I also added in about 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. You can skip that one, but it does give you like a nice background flavor. So once that is all mixed together and combined, we're going to start adding our dry ingredients, which is going to be 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to add a pinch of salt in here. You should always add some salt to even out your baked goods. And then I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of flour and mix that before adding the rest of my flour, just so that I don't overwhelm my mixer and also send a cloud of flour into the room. So I'm just very lightly bringing that together, and then I'm going to add in 2 more cups of flour. The final flour measurement you're going to use for these cookies is 3 cups of flour. After your dough has come together and you've got all of the flour in there, just go ahead and cover your bowl and stick that in the fridge for about half an hour. You can leave it in there longer, but at least give it half an hour in the fridge. And then just go ahead and after that time, pull that out and start forming little cookie balls. You want these to be about a 2 tablespoon size, give or take, I would say. Just a good, not too small, but not too large either. And go ahead and put these into a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Check them a little bit early just to make sure that they are not getting overcooked. They should be still pretty pale on top, but lightly golden underneath when you pull them out. Now, while your cookies are in the oven is a great time to start working on our frosting for them. I have 2 sticks of unsalted butter in the bowl of my stand mixer here, and I want to whip that butter up till it's nice and light and fluffy on its own before I start putting in any sugar in there. And then after I've got it to a nice point where it's pretty fluffy by itself, I'm going to start adding in powdered sugar bit by bit. Now, I think that I used about 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. Truthfully, I always just kind of go by eye and by taste. I am constantly tasting my buttercream frosting. I don't want it to taste like pure sugar. And I also don't want it to taste like pure butter. You want that little spot in between where it's going to taste just perfect. It's going to be buttercream. If you go too far with the powdered sugar, it's too sweet. And if you go too far the other way, it's too buttery. Once I've got the sweetness level good, I'm just going to add in about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then after that's beat in, just about a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, just to carry that flavor through that we put into the cookie itself. And then after that, all I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of color here. So I used a purple. I like to use gel color. Use whatever works for you and whatever color you'd like, but just a little bit of purple in there made it really nice and just a beautiful springy color. And here are the cookies fresh out of the oven. They were really a little bit too hot for me to be touching just then, but I wanted to show you. You can see how they're very pale on top, but the bottom is nicely golden. You don't want to take them any farther than that point. And after your cookies have cooled, just go ahead and start frosting them. I found that the easiest way for me was, because my frosting is pretty thick, I didn't thin it out too much. I just took a spoon and just put a little dollop on top. I don't feel like these cookies need to be too fussy or fancy, just a nice, simple little coating of frosting. These are so good, absolutely craveable. I hope you guys try them. If you do, please leave me a comment below, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.